guaranteed cut, and Brianna Turner is someone who has started almost every game in her career till last year.
Angel Reese wasn't thrilled when Brianna Turner left Chicago for Indiana to join forces with Caitlin Clark. She leaned into her main character energy, jokingly throwing shade and giving the camera a knowing look, basically saying, "So this is how it's going now." The message was clear: loyalty didn't last long. WNBA drama at its finest, and Reese is right in the spotlight.
So, in a kind of a surprising turn of events, the Indiana Fever have made yet another move this offseason, and they have signed Bree Turner to the roster.
Angel Reese saw the headline and could only react with, "Wow, just wow." First, it was Aya Wilson watching the Fever-stacked talent like they were assembling an Avengers-level roster, and now Reese was caught in the same storm. Brianna Turner leaving Chicago to join forces with Caitlin Clark became the latest jaw-dropping twist in the WNBA's most chaotic offseason yet. Turner, for her part, sounded excited about the fresh start, posting like she hadn't just sent the league into a full meltdown. Indiana Fever players were already celebrating, welcoming her as the final piece to their growing super team. Even Aaliyah Boston tried to play peacemaker, tweeting "Let's hoop" as if that would settle things. Spoiler: it didn't.
Well, someone who actually broke this story, she said Brianna Turner has signed with the Indiana Fever per the WNBA transition page. Some depth for the Fever front court. Brianna Turner signed a contract with the Fever. Somebody said, so does this mean it's not a training camp? Somebody said, yes, it's basics.
The WNBA isn't just growing. It's starting to feel like a high-stakes reality show, but with elite athletes and real consequences. If the Indiana Fever keeps making moves like this, Angel Reese might just have to start assembling her own super team. And honestly, Reese had every reason to feel some type of way. Brianna Turner literally looked at Chicago, looked at Indiana, and decided to leave, just to join Caitlin Clark and the Fever in building their monstrous lineup. The audacity.
It is funny that all these people who hated the Indiana Fever last year is finally coming around to sign with the team. Go figure. Now, I don't know the whole initial thing about this signing, maybe for depth, defensive purposes, but it is funny to see how what a year make when the Indiana Fever is one of the, not one, but is the top team in the WNBA.
Meanwhile, Chicago Sky fans were left staring at their roster like it was an incomplete group project. So, who do we even have, was the question on everyone's mind. At this point, it looked like Angel Reese and a handful of vibes were holding down the team. Sure, Marina Mabrey and Dana Evans were still there, but reality was sinking in. They didn't even make the playoffs last year. And somehow, fans were supposed to believe that keeping the same core without Turner would suddenly change things. Chicago's front office kept reassuring everyone that we're building and we're being patient. But patience doesn't stop Indiana from collecting talent like Pokemon cards. Let's be honest, being patient is way easier when your biggest rival isn't assembling a super team right in front of you. Angel Reese, though, wasn't about to let anyone count Chicago out. "I love it here, and we're going to be just fine," she said, doubling down on her loyalty. But let's be real, fine didn't get them anywhere last season. Fine meant sitting at home watching the playoffs like the rest of us.
I wanted me to talk about this Bree Turner signing, but there's really nothing to talk about. So, Bree Turner did not look good on this guy, specifically because we did not need bigs to come off the bench to play defense. We needed bigs to come off the bench and get a freaking bucket. And for me, like, the craziest thing, as I've said before in previous videos, like way back in season, Bree Turner didn't look that bad coming off the bench, right? The issue again is that she came off the bench and played defense. Girl, we need you to come off the bench and get a freaking bucket. And when she did get a bucket, she was efficient at it. She was the most efficient big that we had on the Sky, period. But she just wasn't going out there to look for her shot. She was going out there to be essentially like a passer or just play defense. Like it just really, again, like that's not what we needed specifically on.
Meanwhile, Fever fans were already celebrating. Keep Angel Reese. We've got Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Brianna Turner. The shade was strong, and Chicago didn't have much of a response because, honestly, what could they even say? Well, at least we still have who? The free agency tracker wasn't exactly giving them hope. Sky fans watched the rest of the league make moves like kids watching their friends get new toys. Indiana landed Turner. Even the Aces were making power plays, New York was stacked, and teams like Dallas and Minnesota were upgrading too. And then there was Chicago, standing off to the side, hoping that one star player could somehow carry everything.
So in what might be the biggest surprise in all of free agency, the Indiana Fever have just signed Brianna Turner. Yeah, I think that this is a shock. I don't hate this. I actually don't hate this for the Fever.
Of course, Angel Reese wasn't backing down. She's already talking about how she thrives as the underdog, how doubt fuels her, and hey, maybe she does. Maybe she bottles up all this shade and turns it into a force to be reckoned with next season. But let's be real, she's going to need help. Right now, Indiana looks poised to steamroll the league like they've been holding a grudge. Chicago, meanwhile, is looking like that one friend who says, "We don't need a plan, we'll figure it out." And we all know how well that worked last season. Oh right, sitting at home. The Indiana Fever aren't just aiming to make the playoffs. They're here to dominate. Their front office saw their young core, spotted Caitlin Clark like a cheat code, and decided to go all in. With Natasha Howard, Sydney Carlson, Sophie Cunningham, Diana Bonner, and Brianna Turner now on board, they're not just building a team, they're assembling an army.
Fever did not come to play. They are on a mission to win now, like 2025 championship season incoming. They were so quiet during free agency. And in the past 24 hours, boom, boom, boom. Re-signed Kelsey Mitchell to a max deal. Picked up Natasha Howard, bringing her back to the Indiana Fever, where she was originally drafted. And then they just announced a three-way trade, sending Alyssa Smith to Dallas and Sophie Cunningham coming to the Fever. This team in 24 hours just got exponentially better.
If you're not a competitor, you're not going to last. And it doesn't have to be to win at all costs, right? It's just how you do what you do every single day. Like for me, as a human being, like if you're leaving your shopping cart out in the middle of the parking lot, I'm judging you. You're not going to be on my team, right? Like you're not going to be on my team. If I'm watching you and you're on the end of the bench with bad body language and not being a good teammate, like I don't want you on my team, right? It's not really about how many points you score. It's not about, all the stats and the numbers and the figures. It's, are you giving everything that you have every day? And it's about being a good human being. Are you a good teammate? Are you helping your teammates up? Are you a good sport? Are you shaking the hands of the opponent? All of those intangible things. Are you looking people in the eye when they're talking to you?
Stephanie White isn't holding back. She's building the Indiana Fever to win now, maximizing Caitlin Clark while surrounding her with seasoned veterans like Natasha Howard, Diana Bonner, Brianna Turner, and Sophie Cunningham. The team isn't just competing, they're assembling a powerhouse with star talent, depth, and championship experience. Other teams, like the Aces and Chicago, are scrambling to keep up, while Fever fans are thriving, watching their squad turn into a legitimate title contender. If this momentum continues, winning the WNBA championship starts to feel inevitable.